All right, let's go ahead and do the last section of Chapter 2. It is 210, increase and decrease in percents. And we have it right here, percent increase and decrease. Now this was actually taken from General Math, so it's a little lengthier as far as actual pages, but we're going to go pretty fast. So here's what we have. We're first going to talk about a percent increase and what it means. A long time ago, not a long time ago, but a few years ago, the White Sox won a World Series. Now, what I have in my example here was if I had bought a White Sox hat in 2004 and for $8 and then sold it that week of the White Sox winning for $30, what was my percentage of the increase? Well, here's what you have to do. The new price that I sold it for was $30. The price I paid was $8. So what we do is just take big minus little. In fact, for all these, for all the percent increase and decrease, is always going to be big minus little. So 30 minus 8, the difference is 22. Now $22 in this case is the percent increase, or my profit. All I have to do is, you see here, I'm going to divide it by the increase, by what I paid. Since I only paid $8, I take 22 divided by 8. Go ahead, take your calculator this time. Take 22 divided by 8, pause if you need to, and then times by 100. You take 22 divided by 8, you get 2.75, but remember that's an actual decimal. To find the percent, because we have to put it over 100, we're actually going to times it by 100. So 2.75 times 100 makes a 275% increase. Again, let me quickly review. I say big number minus little number divided by the old price times 100, or I just like to say big minus little divided by the old times 100. Do that for those four things, and this whole thing is a snap. Let's go to the next page. To sum it up, there are three steps. Subtract big minus little, okay. Divide by the old, times 100. Okay, easy. And feel free to take notes at 10 points extra credit, all that. So now let's do a you try. Let me put the shade down here. You try. A guy sells you a gold-colored wristband for $2, like the ones that people have on school. Later, a student says they will buy it from you for $5. You agree. What was your percent increase? So let's review. You paid $2. You sold to some guy for $5. What was your percent increase? Go ahead and try it this time. I'll pause. Hopefully you paused it and worked it out. Let's take a look. You got $5. You paid $2. You made a $3 increase. So big minus little equals 3. Divided by the old price is $2. 3 divided by 2 equals 1.5. But remember, that is the decimal. From there, you go ahead and times by 100. So 1.5 times 100 is 150. So you made a 150% increase in what you did. Next page. You drop the shade here again. You bought a Wii on eBay for $89.50. Later you sold it for $143.25. What was the percentage increase of your Wii? So go ahead and give it a try. Remember, big minus little divided by the old times 100. Pause and try. Hopefully you got the following. New minus old, or big minus little, this minus this equals $53.75. That's how much money you made. Divide by the price you paid, which is $89.50. So 53.75 divided by 89.50, which is 0.6005587. Times that by 100, you get 60%. Now you might ask yourself, well, why do I really care whether or not I compare it by the old price? I mean, if I'm making money, isn't that a good thing? Well, yes, it certainly is, but the percent increase is very important. For instance, if you can take $5 and make another $5, well, that's a 100% increase. And that's good money if every $5 you have makes you $5. Or let's say it took you $100 to make $5 profit. Well, you still made $5 profit, but you had to come up with $100 first. Or if you had $5 makes you $5, you could have 20 of these $5 make you $25. 20 of the $5 bills. So you want to have as high a percent increase as possible. If you're not sure what that means, go ask your folks about credit card payments sometime and they'll tell you about a high percent increase. So take a look at this one here. So you buy an Xbox 360 for $350. Tax is 9%. How much will this cost in total? Now this is a little different, so we're going to talk about this here. I want you to make a box. If you're taking notes, go ahead and make a box and just put the following. Price of the Xbox, $360, plus tax, and the total cost. Put here the price of the Xbox is $350. We just need to take that times 0.09 to get the tax on that. So 9% is 0.09, so take 350 times 0.09, and you get $31.50. So that's the tax you have to pay with the cost of the Xbox. So 350 plus the 3150 equals the 381.50. This is just like the tax you pay on any store, anything you buy. So where are you going to use it in real life? Every time you buy something at any store, you're paying sales tax, which it is what it is. You may not like it, but it's a reality. So if you have something that you want to buy for $20 and you only have $20, you don't have enough sales tax, so you better find something else. Next page. You try. Let's see. Say you buy new clothes for $235.96. Tax is 12%. Must be Cook County. How much will it cost in total? So go ahead at this time and try to solve for that. How again? Take this price times 0.12. When you get that, add it back into this amount here. Go ahead. Hopefully you did the following. Price of clothes plus tax equals total cost. Tax was 12%, which is 0.12. 0.12 times $235.96 gives you $28.32. $28.32 plus the $235.96 equals $264.28. Next page. Now percent decrease. Percent decrease is the discount or drop in an amount. At pre-Christmas sale items, let's say at a pre-Christmas sale, items are 20% off. Actually, what you're going to find, you are going to find that the day after Thanksgiving is the day, if you don't mind going through some insane shopping, and your mom or dad can probably tell you about this, it's called Black Friday. Just because it's going to be such a wild shopping time, this and that, lots of people are going to be buying this and that everywhere, so lots of activity. And so if you're into big sales, you might find some good ones, but some of the best sales are going to happen about 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning at these stores. So you'll have to be prepared to get in line about 2 or 3 in the morning. That's a lot of time to wait for like $50 off a computer, but you never know what you're going to find, and if you do, go with a friend and have supervision. Anyway, back to the example. So a pre-Christmas sale we're saying is 20% off. A PS3 game normally costs, let's say, $49.99. With the discount, how much will it cost? So let's talk about this. Games normally cost $50 or $49.99. You're getting 20% off of this pre-Christmas sale. Line it up like before. The only difference is, of a plus, you're going to have a minus. So we'll put $49.99. To find the discount, we're going to take 20% and make 0.2. Take 0.2 times the $49.99. See what I get down here. You get $9.99 off. Well, take $49.99 minus the $9.99, and you're left with $40. So you're going to walk out of the store paying only $40. Of course, you still have to pay sales tax, but let's not ruin this great example with having to pay more. Now you try. 20% off a $79.95 for a PS2. How much would you actually pay? Before tax, of course. So go ahead and take this minus 20%. Go ahead and try. Alright. The answer I got was 79.95 times 0.2, which made $15.99 off. So just take $79.95 here minus $15.99, and you should get $63.96 for the actual cost of the PS2. Is there a shortcut? Yes. At least I called a shortcut. Remember in the last part, what we did before is when you added your decimal and then multiplied. To find a price decrease, you simply subtract the decimal. Let me explain. Suppose I said the original price is $60, and I'm going to take 20% off. Imagine this. It doesn't matter what the price of something is. Forget that. Think of the price as 100% of whatever the price is going to be. Think of like a loaf of bread. 100% of a loaf of bread is a whole loaf of bread. Well, 100% of this price is 100%. And here we're going to lop off 20%. The question I have for you is, if I had 100% and lopped off 20, what percent is left? Well, hopefully you said 80. Now take this. If it's 80%, just make 80% 0.8. So what? Just take 0.8 times this 60 here. Take 0.8 times 60. Go ahead and calc it. Notice how it's 48. So you could go this way where you take 60 times 0.2 and get 12, okay, and then you take 60 minus 12 and get 48. Or you could just say, well, I'm taking 20% off, so it's going to be 80% or 0.8, and take 0.8 times 60, which was your original price. Whichever way you're more comfortable. Makes no difference to me. To find a percent decrease, you have take big number and subtract by the little number. Big minus little divided by the old, so pretty standard there. We're going to take a look here. If the original price of a new Verizon cell phone, you can see this example is a little dated because it would be an iPhone these days, but that's okay because we're going to say the cell phone is only 40 bucks, which is pretty cheap still. But let's say you bought it for $29.95. I want to know the discount. Now let's line it up. Originally it was $40, so take a look here, $40. The discounted price was $29.95, so you should have this written down. You saved $10.05. Since that's what you saved, take this divided by the original cost, which is 40. Big minus little, right? Then divide by the old times 100. So 40 minus 29.95 equals 10.05 divided by the old price or original, which is 40. A lot of people are going to make a mistake and divide by discount. No, divide by the original. So take this divide by the original, which we get here as 0.25125 times by 100. Looks like you saved approximately 25%. You try. Original price of some LeBron James sneakers, $129.99. You paid $84.99. Find out what percent you got off. Remember, big minus little, get that, divided by the old times 100. Go ahead. Hopefully you tried it already. Let's take a look. Well, this minus this divided by this times 100 hopefully gives you 34.6 because that's what I have, and I trust me. Now look at this one here. After a discount of 14%, you pay only $128.99 for a new iPod. How much did it cost you originally? So in this case, let's set up the problem. So go ahead and put this, please. Now this one looks a little different, so we're going to discuss this here. Basically what I have here is, and I should have had the equals moved over some, that's a little better. So the discount price, you only paid $128.99, so that's why that's here. But this is an accumulation of original percent minus discount percent. In other words, you saved 14%. Now that's fine, you saved 14%, and it was originally 100, of course. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, well, what's 100 minus 14? And clearly, if you're an AT student watching this, you know it's 86. So let's just put it down to 86%. Now times what? Times whatever the original price was. Now understand, that loaf of bread I was talking about, that 100% loaf, well, it's 100%, but what does that 100% stand for? So in this case here, this original price, it was 100% times the original price, but then I cut into that original percent. So I had 100%, I got 14% off as it says here, so that's there. 100 minus 14 equals 86. Easy way to solve it, just make it 0.86. So the discount price is 128.99, which is 0.86 of the original. Well, now to get x by itself, if this is times 0.86, I divide by 0.86. If I divide by 0.86 on one side, you divide it on the other. Take a look. So here, 0.86 divided by 0.86, 0.86. You get 149.99 equals x. And so that was your original price. You try again, because I just got to have you keep trying. After a 12.5% discount, a PS2 costs $69.97. What was the original price? Do the same thing. 100%. How much did you take off? This guy here. So 100 minus this, I'm thinking 87.5% or 0.875x. Go ahead and try. Hopefully you got $79.97. And now, one more thing, time for the vocab. Everyone loves vocab, I know, me included. It'll be a short one, though. Let's go ahead and see the little girl all happy. Yay, vocab. So let's take a look here. A markup. What's a markup mean exactly? Well, it's a retail term. A retail term for how much extra is added to the charge of an item. Let me explain. Suppose JCPenney buys crates of purses from the Jessica Simpson collection. Don't worry about how I know that these different stores have a Jessica Simpson collection. When you have a wife and you need to buy gifts for her, you'll understand. Anyway, let's say that JCPenney's buys these purses for $30 each. Now they're going to sell them for about $50 each. Now you might say, man, that's an awful big percent increase. And that's true, but you have to remember they have costs to pay for as well if you take a look here. That this might seem unreasonable. You must remember that JCPenney pays for employee salaries, building rent, utilities, which should be like water, gas, sewer, electric. They have other fees as well. They got to pay corporate. They have to pay part of their advertising costs, blah, blah, blah. For a while, I used to work for Bob Evans Restaurant and Blockbuster Video, and as a store manager, I got to see that a lot of cost was involved, more than just paying the employees and whatnot. So you really have to sell a lot or sell for a lot more in order to make your profit. A small town store, we always love to help small town stores. They have to charge a few more dollars because they don't sell as many. Now a place like Walmart, can sell for cheaper because they can sell millions of something. So again, I'm not advocating for or against Walmart. That's certainly your decision, what you like to buy. But if things are a little more expensive in your local stores, that's why. Because if they sell, 50, if they sell 50 wrenches versus Walmart's 10,000 wrenches, they have to sell their wrenches for a little more to get the same profit that Walmart would get with more volume. Okay. And the other term is a discount. A discount is amount reduced from the retail price. This happens often when stores have more of a product than they can sell. A good time to buy, by the way, is on the off season, and I've told my students this, and I'll tell you as well if I haven't told you individually. But sometimes buying off season makes a lot of sense. For instance, the best time to buy a winter coat is about May, April, or March, just when no one needs them anymore. You'll find that stores that still have them, well, they don't want them around for 9 months. They'd rather sell them for 40-50% off and get them out the store. And think about it. If you have a winter coat that you're going to keep for 8 years or 9 years, well, you're going to outgrow them. But, when you get to be an adult, you wear your clothes a while, especially coats and whatnot. You're going to have them for a few years. So why not pay half the price and just use them 6 months later? The same idea with summer wear, some summer clothes. Well, buy them in September, October, November when they're trying to get rid of them. As long as they keep in style, you should save a whole bunch of money, and things like that. Well, anyway, that's my pitch there. So we are now done. Percent increase and decrease is over. This is the end of Chapter 2. So after this, we're going to have you study for a day and take that test. But don't worry, because remember, every AT student of mine must get an A or above, or they'll end up getting an A either way in their test. So good luck on that. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later.